I just bought this ridiculous little car. Overall it's in pretty good condition, but it's got fairly high miles, about 120,000 miles. It's got a 1 litre turbo engine in it, and there seems to be some sort of boost cut or something going on. It pulls strongly, but then it peters off as you continue up the rev range. So I'm going to see if I can address that. This is the little tiny turbo on the Fortwo Brabus, and the wastegate is in a terrible state. So I think this might be causing my boost problems. So first thing I did was replace the clip on the end of the actuator arm because it was missing, rusted off presumably. So that doesn't work. So next up I decided to try and source the actuator itself. You have to buy the entire turbo unit from Smart to get that actuator. You can't buy it on its own, but I found an eBay seller selling it, so looks like it's the right shape. It says it's for Brabus Fortwos and turbo Fortwos of this generation. That's a 451 Smart Fortwo, so I'm going to give this a go. Here's the old crusty wastegate actuator and the boost solenoid and some of the shiny new bits that I'm putting in. The attempts at fixing the boost problems didn't really go anywhere, that new solenoid and everything else. So I think I'm gonna put a bit of money into it and just see what happens. I'll try not to go too mad, but I managed to pick up
He's doing something.
I managed to pick up a turbo for a really good price in the UK.
He's working.
And it was about...
He's working on his car.
So it's a genuine Smart turbo. Normally go for about €900, but I managed to pick this up for 300. It's brand new. So definitely worth the punt. It's going to be probably pretty tricky to get it off. Working on his car in the engine bay is just really, really tight. I ordered a whole new gasket set as well for the turbo. Make sure everything is sealed up.
What does this do?
So looking forward to seeing if that solves the boost problems. What's unusual about these wheels is that the rears are painted silver, but the fronts are diamond cut on the faces and painted silver here in between the spokes. Anything diamond cut will corrode like this over time. Basically the water just gets underneath the lacquer here if there's any sort of stone chip or anything, and it just starts corroding. This one is probably worse. Basically what my plan is to rub these down, sand them down, get rid of this, some of this corrosion down to bare metal in places, and give the rest of it a sand. Then to etch primer it, so on the places where there is bare metal it'll get a good grip on it. Then primer, then a silver colour, and then a clear lacquer on top to protect it all. And it's a bit of a punt, to be honest, because I'm trying to get it to match the rears, and I find it hard to find an exact colour match for that. So I'm just going to take a punt on it and get a wheel silver and give it a go. this is the before. This one isn't as badly corroded. And after it's all been sanded down. So in places this has gone right down to bare metal, which is where the etch primer is going to come in. Paradise. So the wheels are all set up here. These are the products I'll be using. Starting with an etch primer, then on to a regular primer, the actual silver wheel spray, and then some varnish on top. I ran out of playing cards, so I'm using some of my son's flashcards instead. Made my first mistake already. Forgot to tape up the valve stems. The etch primer and regular primer are on now, and now I'm going to go and spray the silver. For anyone interested, it's a wheel paint silver they call it. There is a steel wheel paint silver which is slightly darker, so I'm really hoping that this silver colour will match the other wheels on the back. So this is the finished article. They're not perfect, but they're pretty good. Generally smooth, a little bit rough in a few places, so I think what I'll do is try and polish them after they've hardened after a few days, and then wax them. So the biggest question is, do they match? Well, not perfectly, no. From a distance here, you can see they're pretty similar. It's a little bit more of a bluish hue off this and a bit more of a golden yellowy hue off this, but not bad. The ones on the rear have a lot of flake in them. I don't know if you can pick that up. They're not perfectly clean at the moment, but and these ones do have a flake, metallic, but it wouldn't be as prominent. So I'll put them on the car, see what they look like, but overall I'm pretty happy. So here's the finished result. I don't think you'd actually notice unless somebody pointed it out to you. Apologies for the bird shit all over my car. What do you call this car?
A smart car.
Yeah, but what do you call it?
This is a rocket jet!
There you have it. Slán.